Cynthia Resor here, another time travel adventure. This time I am in January 1974, and I'm here to tell you about the economic crisis that's occurring. What's this behind me? These are lines of cars trying to get gas at a gas station. What caused this? The oil embargo. It started in October last year, 1973, and why? President Nixon requested foreign aid for Israel, and the oil-producing countries really don't like Israel, so they said, you know what, United States, we're not going to sell you any oil. And this country runs on oil and gasoline, just like it does in the 21st century. So prices started going up, oil shortages and gasoline shortages started, and there's been all sorts of fallout. So back in May of 1973, gas was only about 38 cents a gallon. They predict now that it's going to go up to 55 cents a gallon in another month or two. Now, that doesn't sound like much, but let me give you some other numbers for context. In 1973, the average salary was only about $12,000 or $13,000 a year. A new car, a Galaxy 500, oh, nice car, that cost about $3,800. So you see, prices have risen over time. But they were really shooting up in the 70s. And the word for that is inflation. Inflation is when prices rise, and that's occurring now, but what's making it worse is the economy is decreasing because factories are having to cut back production, people are being unemployed because there's not enough oil and gasoline in the nation right now. And the word for that was started in the 1970s is stagflation. Prices up, economy down. So there's some real problems. Of course, the government tries to do things to lessen these problems. For instance, one thing that they did is in December, they created a new office, an energy office that was supposed to help to solve some of these problems and make sure that oil and gasoline resources were passed out fairly. Another thing that they're talking about is making the national speed limit 55 miles an hour. Now, you've heard of that in the 21st century, but that was big news in 1974. And they're asking car makers, and car makers are realizing they need to do it, to make more fuel-efficient cars. Because, I mean, look at most of these cars waiting this line here in 1974. These are big gas-guzzling cars. And, of course, today we have much more fuel-efficient cars. And this oil crisis in the 70s is what helped start that process. So the government is always involved in our economy in some way. They try to make crashes, try to lessen the impact of crashes. I think all these leaded gasoline fumes are getting to me here. They try to lessen the impact of a crash, but they also have policies to try to fix this problem for the future. So keep in mind, government gets involved in crises like this because a gas shortage impacts the whole economy and lots of individuals as well. So I'm going to have to sign off now because these gasoline fumes are really getting to me. Oh, I forgot to tell you, #1 song in 1973. I think I hear it playing in the background.
If you still want me, if you still want me,
We'll tie a yellow ribbon round the old rose tree. It's the